Alright, welcome back to another episode of the Drunk Bond Podcast with your host, your buddy, James St. John Smythe, for a bonus episode today. That's right, get excited. Bonus, it's a fun word. And I'm coming to you right on time, a month after the news. You know the big news going on, everyone's been talking about it. It's that I'm going back to GoldenEye. No! Not that, although we will talk about that too. The Amazon news, that's right. Amazon bought creative control of James Bond from the Broccoli's. So let's just get right into it. My first reaction was, I went all doom and gloom. It's over. We're screwed. The Bond franchise as we know it is over. Texted some friends. I was like, this is bad. And I was worried about the same thing everyone else is worried about. The unlimited spin-offs and prequels and limited series and expanded universe that nobody wants. And, the Bond going woke, whatever the hell, woke has become such a blanket term for so many different things. And focus groups for everything, and it's just going to be awful and so watered down. And I just went under the bed and I started weeping. I also kind of couldn't believe it, and still can't, that they sold the rights. They were so passionate about what direction Bond went in and everything. And their whole life is this, like their whole family. Of course, they got offered, if the press is to be believed, what was it, $1 billion? That's going to be kind of hard to pass up. But, then again, were they passionate about it? Did they seem passionate about it in the last, since No Time to Die? With them doing all these different movies and different projects, which they're free to do, but is Bond at the forefront of their priorities? I think I talked about this I can't remember what episode, but I was like, I want them to keep going. They know Bond better than anybody, but if they're not passionate about it, if they're not all in, let's go, this is what we do. We do Bond movies and we do Bond movies alone. If you're not going to be passionate about it, well then sell it. But be careful what you wish for, because here we are. But I couldn't believe they actually did it. And then I was kind of bummed, and again, still am. That's right, St. John Smythe gets sad sometimes. This is all we've ever known. The Broccoli's have been in charge since Dr. No, and the Saltzmans. But they're in charge of everything, and it was very scary and weird to think wait, some asshole from Amazon, a company that sells fucking mop handles, they're going to choose the next James Bond? Or a huge team of people with focus group backed research, that's going to choose the next James Bond? And are y'all still going to do the gun barrel, the pre-titles? There's a formula here. There are rules here, Amazon. Are y'all going to play by them? And it's very strange, and it still is. But now that I've had time to kind of think about it, and I've listened to other fans a bit, they've kind of talked me down from the ledge. I'm somewhere in between still, doom and gloom and optimistic. I can't be just negative Nancy. This is awful. I won't be able to enjoy the franchise anymore. If everything they do, I'm it's going to suck. This is going to be terrible. It's going to number one, it's a movie. It's about a guy who's not real. So let's put things in perspective. Star Wars being ruined sucks, but did it change my life? Has it made my life worse? No, it's just kind of annoying. So if it happens with Bond, well, I'll still follow it, and I'll still watch the first 25 movies. That should keep me occupied for a while. And this does mean that, we'll at least, it's very exciting to think, it's a little naive, but to think we're going to get news this year. Director, who's playing the next Bond, a release date. That could all come this year, which is amazing to think about. And they're going to be, I would imagine, a little more transparent with the behind-the-scenes stuff, the production. We're going to have a better idea. It's not going to be so close to the vest with Eon. And was Eon doing that great a job since, let's say, this century? Think about their last 6 movies. We've had 2 great ones, Casino Royale and Skyfall. But Die Another Day, Quantum of Solace, Spectre, No Time to Die. Some of those have mixed reactions. They're kind of divisive amongst fans, but I wasn't super crazy about where the Craig franchise went. So Like, what am I really going to miss that much from Eon at this point? They give us Bond movies every 5 years, and I don't even like the direction they're going. Bond's dead, Bond gets married, Bond falls in love, Bond has a daughter, the Die Another Day shit. Like, what am I really clinging to with the Broccoli's? And this all took 25 years to give us 5 movies. So, maybe this isn't such a horrible thing after all. Again, I just think that's naive, though. This is because the thing is, like, let's say best case scenario, we get let's say a Skyfall type movie where it's like fans love it, critics love it, makes $1 billion, Bond's back in the forefront of, pop culture for, at least a little while. What are the odds they say, okay, great, now we'll move on and just make the next movie and have it be creative and a fun time too, and we'll just do this every couple of years. No, it's going to be, oh, you guys like that? Oh, well, then let's give you 15 more things like that. Let's just jam it down your throat. They're like children. Now, granted, I'm lumping Amazon into like with Disney, what Disney's done to Marvel and Star Wars, but I don't know. I just don't know how this is going to play out. But then again, no one does. And I know they do have creative people over at Amazon, and this is the crown jewel of Amazon Studios. It's the Bond franchise. And the great thing about it is you don't have to have this huge vision like you do with Star Wars or even Marvel, like a big story to tell. These are just episodic movies and can be treated as such. So put your best and brightest, or go hire the best and brightest. They're out there. They're just not being utilized well. And make sure they're Bond fans and they get it. I was watching GoldenEye the other day and I was like, God damn, you could just tell, like in the tank sequence, for instance, you could just tell the person making this movie is a Bond fan. He gets Bond, Martin Campbell. Like, he understands what makes Bond fun. So I hope that they hire someone like that, someone who just understands Bond. And as far as spin-offs and all that, like, we're going to get it, I'm sure. I don't know. It can be good, I guess, but is it going to be? Again, I just keep thinking of Star Wars and all these series that no one cares about. Like, everyone keeps talking about the Moneypenny series. That's been talked about forever. And all Bond fans are like, yeah, cool. I mean, who doesn't love Moneypenny? But is that something we really need? Like, who is actually going to... I can't wait for the Moneypenny series. I mean, at the end of the day, she is just a secretary. She does, like, paperwork and stuff. And, like, schedules M's day and flirts with Bond. Like, what else is there? She doesn't really go on missions. Like, what's the audience for a Moneypenny series? Just using her as an example. But it's perfect for, like, Amazon, because it's like, all right, well, you got a strong woman. They love that buzzword. And everyone loves this strong woman. Every Bond fan loves Moneypenny. So by God, let's make a series about her. But she doesn't do anything. It's a desk job. I guess she can go in the field here and there, but, like, that's not really her job. And I guess you can do something with Q. I don't know. You're just playing a dangerous game there. Maybe, like, origin stories for villains could be kind of cool. Don't feature 007, but, like, Dr. No origin. I mean, he kind of laid it out in the movie. Goldfinger. Blofeld. Hell, even Mr. Big with, like, the Baron and Teehee. Scaramanga would be a great origin story. He lays it all out what his whole history is. Zorin, Kamal Khan, Sanchez, Trevelyan. That'd be a great backstory. So maybe if they come out with a movie every 3 years, maybe in between, have something like that. I don't know. I just hope they don't fuck it up. They learn from the thousands of times this doesn't work out. Just do things tastefully. There's something called delayed gratification. Sometimes making people wait is a good thing, but, like, you have a board of directors to answer to and stockholders. So it's like, no, we have to defend our office and our desk job and our huge salary, even though there's a movie coming out every 3 years. That's it. So I don't know. Again, I'm in between cautiously optimistic and doom and gloom, but I have to be positive about it because, like, the build-up for a Bond movie, it's still a big deal for me. It might not be for many other people, but for Bond fans, the build-up is part of the fun. And I mean, it's all the books, it's all the movies, it's all the behind the scenes stuff, it's ranking stuff. Like, it's a fun year. That's a lot of fun to do all that stuff leading up to a new Bond movie. And all the fans get into it and the Bond community. So if I was just had a piss poor attitude about Bond in general, well, I wouldn't be doing any of that stuff to lead up to the next Bond movie. So you're taking away like a year of fun out of my life just because I have a shitty attitude. So, you know, I'm choosing to be optimistic. What do you think about that? Huh? I'm making a choice to be optimistic. So I'm very curious to see how this all goes. And I mean, like the marketing, the brands, how is all that going to work? I mean, Amazon.com can do anything they want. So like, yeah, there's a lot of, is he going to use the same brands like Macallan and Omega and Tom Ford and Blackwell Rum? And yeah, I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm excited, I guess, because we're going to get news. And I guess it's going to be kind of cool to see someone else's take on it. But I don't know. Back in my mind, I'm like, you know how this is going to end, dude. It's not going to go well for you. But we'll see. I don't know. But something did have to change with the Broccolis. So here we are. See how it goes. I'm all over the map with this thing. Some days I'm happy. Some days I'm sad. I just stay in bed and cry. And I'm sure most Bond fans are like that. There's a lot to be excited about. There's a lot to be worried about. But nothing we can do about it. Let's see how they do. Don't cock it up. Meanwhile, speaking of other Bond movies, I watched, what did I watch the other day? I haven't watched a Bond movie. I saw some clips of GoldenEye the other day, like I talked about. And then I watched Octopussy for the review the other day. But I haven't really watched Bond movies in like a year, other than those two. And I watched, it was the Bond Experience with, what's his name? He, Easy Smiles and Expensive Watches. What is it? Let me look it up real quick. Jesus, and just Mike, can you be a little prepared? Yeah, Easy Smiles and Expensive Watches. His name is, I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter. Kyle Barbeau, I think is his name. Anyway, it's a good Instagram page. But anyway, they were talking about Spectre. And for some reason, I don't really know why, they were just talking about other Bond movies, and it got me in the mood to watch every Bond, like to marathon Bond movies. Like 60s Bond. Like I haven't watched Dr. No in years. I haven't watched From Russia with Love in years. Like I'm all of a sudden in the mood to watch a bunch of Bond movies. So I'm going to try to start watching them again more. I still have View to a Kill, Spectre, and Skyfall to review on this channel. I'm not even sure why I brought that up, honestly. Just to tell you that I was going to watch Bond movies? Well, okay. Now you know that, so do with that information what you will. And speaking of Bond movies, I went to my mom's house the other day, and she was cleaning out her cabinets, and she had some old VHSs. My old VHS Bond box set was in there, in amazing shape. It was just 60s Bond, Dr. No on Her Majesty's, and then GoldenEye. And she was going to throw it out. The old bag was sitting on a mountain of gold, and she didn't even know it. So I took that back home, and I was looking at the covers, those old covers. I was like, oh man, taking a trip down memory lane here. And on the back of From Russia with Love, I could see writing. It's like I was using it as a hard surface, and I was writing something on top of it. And I couldn't make out the words, but it was my old handwriting from when I was a kid. But the more I tilted it in the light, I could see the word 007, scene. And I was like, what the hell was I writing? And on the top, clear as day, it said Big Booba Chest. Now, some of you listeners are thinking, what the fuck does that mean? What's Big Booba Chest? Well, if you're a long-time listener, if you're my friend, you'll know that when I was a young lad, about 6th grade, my friends and I made our own Bond movie. We were really cool. And the Bond girl's name was Big Booba Chest. So on the back of From Russia with Love, I guess I was writing the script for it. And oh, what a script it was! Just by the character names. Big Booba Chest. It was called The Man with No Hands. Because then we had a teacher who had like a fucked up, like a messed up hand. So we just called the villain Frank Munoz, and he was the man with no hands. He had no actual hands. And his henchman's name was Cage. And we thought, what could the Bond girl's name be? And that's the best we can come up with. Big Booba Chest. It doesn't even make any sense. That's not a name. You couldn't think of like Dixie whatever, like Big Booba Chest? Is her last name Booba Chest and her first name is Big? Oh yes, I'm staying in Leeds this weekend with the famous Booba Chest family. Oh, the Booba Chests. So you must know their daughter Big. Oh, it's a baby girl. We shall name her Big. She lived on she lived on Humpalot Island. Like, that's so beyond not creative. I mean, I know we were in 6th grade, but like The Man with No Hands and Cage, that's not bad. Big Booba Chest, who lives on Humpalot Island. Why does a Bond girl even need her own island? I mean, who do you think you are, Octopussy? You don't get your own island. A villain will have his own island. We never did finish the whole movie, so we never got to film scenes with Big Booba Chest. But we were planning on putting, like, beach balls in her bra, if we could ever find a girl. And let me tell you, there were plenty of girls to choose from. If we could ever find a girl to play that role. I think one of our friend's sisters was going to do that, but that's just weird for someone had to tell their sister, hey, can you put these, we're going to need you to wear like a huge oversized shirt so that you can fit 2 beach balls underneath your shirt. And how are your acting skills, too? And would you like to make out with one of our friends playing James Bond? Anyway, so I thought that was a fun little tidbit. And you know what? I wanted to share it with my listeners. So there you go. The Man with No Hands. I made a Bond quote the other day. Yeah, you know what? Let's start a new segment on this show called Bond Quotes in Everyday Life. We'll do one an episode. Well, I'll give you 2 to make up for lost time. Number 1 is I have my dad's old watch, and it has to be wound, so I don't wear it very often. So when I do wear it, it's not working, and I have to wind it and everything and change the time. And every single time I put that watch on, it's not ticking. And I always, every single time, look at it and say, "Frozen by the golden eye blast." And I make myself laugh every time, and no one else laughs, no one else cares. The amount of Bond quotes I make in my everyday life that no one cares about, no one laughs, but I just love them so much. Frozen by the golden eye blast. Keely. And my other one the other day was, I had a second child. He's a newborn, and I went to change his diaper the other day, and there was just shit running down both legs. It was just a goddamn mess everywhere. Both legs. And I opened up his little pajamas, and I saw that, and I said, a double blowout. I've never seen one of these before. And I laughed, and my wife said, what are you laughing at? And I said, there's shit running down both legs. And what I said was a Goldfinger quote. Whenever he inexplicably runs this girl off the road and ruins her tires, he says, a double blowout. I've never seen one of these before. It's from Goldfinger. And she said, I don't respect you as a man anymore. And I said, what? So that's all I got for today. Oh, going back to GoldenEye, yes. That's in 11 months for my 40th birthday. So stay tuned for that. This is a little bite-sized episode. I hope you enjoyed it. This is just something to nibble on. Just nibble on a little bit. Hopefully I'll be back soon with either View to a Kill or Skyfall Spectre. Hope they might not keep you waiting too long. These kids are really getting in my goddamn way. So I'm going to try to work around them. In the meantime, check out the Last of the Action Heroes podcast. They got all kind of stuff going. I don't know what it is, but they got stuff going. You can count on that. And go check out those pages I talked about. The Bond Experience with David Zaritsky. It's a pretty well-known page. And Easy Smiles and Expensive Watches with Kyle Barbeau. They did a video about the best Bond look and the worst Bond look of every actor's tenure. And I loved that video. I love stuff like that. I was talking to my friend the other day about having a conversation about your favorite Bond scene in each movie and your least favorite scene in each movie. So, Dr. No, what's your favorite scene? What's your least favorite scene? I love stuff like that. Just breaking it down beyond where it ever needed to be broken down. The minutia. That's where we live. All right. Let's keep it optimistic, folks. Don't be a cliche. Don't be a negative fan. Let's keep it positive. There's nothing else to do. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So you might as well keep it positive. Hey, what do you think about that? What do you think about that little platitude I just gave you? Huh? All right. We'll see you next time. Take care.